light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got a night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 coming back at you for that special Monday night boxing recap and football talk. We're going to do two shows in one today, known as the Shoe Shine. All right, guys, you know the drill. Joining me all the way from the city of brotherly love, Philly Irish, Drew Evo says he will be with us shortly. The laptop is updating, kind of a weekly thing. I know some people that use PCs and whatnot, and if you don't use it for a while, that thing requires you to do an update. I myself rock nothing but Macintosh gear. I just love my Mac stuff. When it works, it works. Great to see some people here in the chat already. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Mom Food. Have not seen my homegirl Mom Food in a minute, guys. You know she is a big-time creator on YouTube. Go and check her out. Make sure you're subscribed to her. A very fun creator. Great to see you in the chat. As well as 702 Man Cave is in the building. Some of y'all might have thought because Thursday I did a show that Drew might have been salty. Well, it was a rough day for Philadelphia fans, but I told a lot of you guys, you know, hold up. Philly fans still have the great Boots Ennis, former unified welterweight champion who was putting on a big boxing show, the only big boxing show in the U.S. this past weekend. And impressed did he in just unbelievable fashion, guys. Just blowing out his opponent in less than one round, in less than 2 minutes, I suppose. We're going to talk about that and what that means for the most coveted division in all of boxing right now. 154-pound division. Boots Ennis has arrived officially. Danny Garcia, speaking of Philadelphia, Danny Garcia will be putting on a massive show this weekend in Brooklyn. Farewell to Brooklyn, perhaps Danny Garcia's final show of his career. Farewell to Brooklyn. And we got some Thurman news. You know, got Keith, one-time Thurman was going to headline a show with a fighter I really like. I featured him on my channel, Sebastian Fundora, WBC. Is he the WBC? Well, super welterweight champion of the world, Sebastian Fundora, him and his sister, lovely kids. Both of them world champions. That show is off in Las Vegas, guys, here in my hometown. Was something that me and 702 Man Cave were really looking forward to it, potentially doing some coverage of the week events, and it is done. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the fight fans that may have booked tickets, may have booked their hotel and their airfare to come here to Las Vegas October 25th. The show is off. And that really sucks for somebody we're close to. Jesus Ramos Jr. was going to be fighting Shane Mosley's son on that card for an interim WBC middleweight championship. They look to be rescheduled on perhaps a later December date for PBC, and we're going to talk about that. But there is no boxing in Las Vegas. There is only football. Shout out to my Raiders fans. Who won? Finally, the Raiders are now 2-4. And what I got here, guys. This is really cool. Shout out to Wiley. This past Thursday, we had some fun. I put down some of the people in the chats this week who played against me on their football picks. And by the way, guys, shout out to all the Libras. Yeah, I was trying to get Drew talking him into going to this Boots Ennis fight. But, when you spend that kind of money to go to a fight and then you're rooting for your guy, but obviously, it's over in 90 seconds. Yeah, everybody's greatly disappointed in the actual event. Double tap that like. That's right, guys. I am vertical today because we're trying to get to 2,500 subscribers by the end of October. Happy birthday, Jerry Rice. And shout out to all my Libras. I had my birthday this Saturday, guys. And on my channel, I posted a short. Now, I really wanted to do a steakhouse for dinner, but then I wanted to try this really cool new restaurant I keep hearing about in downtown Las Vegas. Some of you guys that live here or have been watching may have heard about it. It's called Pachi. It's a Japanese tiki bar with amazing cocktails, DJs, and food. So I went down there on Saturday afternoon to check it out. And I have to ask, because some of you guys live right here. Thank you so much, Mom Food. Some of you guys live in Vegas, and some of you visit Vegas regularly. But is $95 with tip, is that too much for lunch in downtown Las Vegas? Is $95 with tip too much? Now, granted, I'm a local now, right? And as a local, you're going to know where to eat off the strip. But I am eating in a tourist corridor, and I wanted to check something out because I recorded a vlog, and I hope to have it for you guys by the end of the week. Is that too much money? Is $95 too much money for lunch? 2 cocktails, an appetizer, and a couple of entrees, and a generous tip because the service was good, quite good. But is that too much money, guys? $95 for lunch? I don't know. Is it too much money? I kind of felt like, first and foremost, the cocktails were delicious, but I haven't been able to drink alcohol because of the post-surgery recovery, and I just wanted another cocktail. And I'm thinking in my head, wow, this is going to be a $120 lunch if I get 2 more cocktails. Do I really want to do a $120 lunch when I want to go to a steakhouse later in the evening? So $95, guys. I'll have that vlog for you guys by the end of the week, and let me know if you think that's too much, or you think that's on par with what you should expect to pay when you are a Las Vegas tourism. Wiley says, everything's gone up. It's dumb. I mean, I've seen worse. You guys can go on the strip and have Gordon Ramsay's burgers, and they're charging $27 up to $35 for a Wagyu beef burger, It could get worse, but yeah, things are absolutely out of control. I'm still waiting for Drew, guys. I appreciate everybody here. By the way, when Drew does come, it's his birthday week. Everybody, he's also a Libra. Wish him a happy birthday. And any super chat, if you guys want to do anything today, I will donate whatever the super chat is. I will match that and give it to Drew so he can have himself a nice, decent birthday this week. I'm still gonna hook him up, regardless of the fact. But yeah, I'll definitely, if you guys are so inclined to do any super chat, it's going to go right to Drew so he can have himself a nice birthday weekend as well. All right, let's talk about this football list really quickly, and we'll get to some, because I want to give a shout out to 702 Man Cave and Paul. Paul M is probably not in the chat because, a lot of people don't care for the boxing talk, and I do have the boxing thumbnail on. But as it stands right now, Paul, and 702 Man Cave. Wait a minute. Excuse me. Paul, and Fonzie 619 from San Diego are tied in a 3-way tie, and it comes down to this game that I'm watching right here at the bottom corner of my TV, of my little phone, ESPN Plus. 22-24, Washington Commanders. I think Ryan is a big fan of the Bears. The Bears are very close. We got 2 minutes left. And just for the record, I picked the Commanders. Paul picked the Bears. 702 Man Cave also picked the Commanders. And Fonzie picked the Bears. If the Bears win and pull it off, then Fonzie is this week's winner. And if the Commanders pull this off with just 2 minutes left, then it looks like 702 Man Cave and I are tied this week for the most wins in Week 6 NFL picks. And it looks like the Bears have a good chance of setting themselves up for a kick. But remember this, Ryan, you guys have my old kicker, San Francisco's Jake Moody, who I hear has made every kick today. Surprisingly, shout out to Jake Moody, who was absolutely unreliable for the San Francisco 49ers. He now finds himself on Monday Night Football coming in clutch and potentially being on the line to kick a winning field goal. So we will see. Shout out to Jose El Compita. It was a rough weekend for us 49er fans, guys. Some quick football talk. We lost our best defensive player alongside Boza, who was hurt. We lost the great Fred Warner, who has not been hurt in his career, but one game. He's played over 122 games, I believe, without an injury. Unbelievable. His ankle is not only fractured, but dislocated. It is a season-ending injury, and now our defense is lost. Our defense is going to be so mid, and it is going to be so rough unless the San Francisco 49ers can make some serious trades for not only an edge rusher, but a linebacker. And Fred Warner is impossible to replace because he's absolutely one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Now, I don't know, guys, 4-2, but it could end up being a trash season if we don't make some changes and trades quickly. Here's something he said. There are certain games you wake up knowing it's going to be your day, and yesterday was one of those days. I knew I was about to go off, and then boom, everything is over in one instant, and that was completely unpreventable. The love everyone has shown me and the prayers being had for me mean the world to me. Some ask why I was able to smile on the cart heading in, and it's because, aside from the shock, I have complete peace in knowing God's plan is so completely perfect, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I've had the privilege of being able to have a very healthy 8 seasons, and now it's time to inspire through the comeback I'm about to have. It will be legendary and right on time, God willing. Thank you, guys. Love always. Go Niners. I'm not an overly religious person, guys, but some of you guys who have been following this channel know that I had a very serious health scare this summer. And I got religious so quick. It's like, when you need God, you start praying like crazy. And not only did I pray, my wife prayed, but everyone around me, my family members, people that know me, I could feel the love and I felt all the prayers. And I have come away from it with really a fantastic outcome, guys. And I'm so appreciative of that. And when I hear athletes, elite athletes, express their faith in God and something higher, it's like, okay, I get it. I get it now, guys. I really, really do. This game is coming down to the wire. The Bears, they could win this game by a field goal. There was a lot of shocks this weekend. I, for one, cannot believe that the Bills... Oh, my TV already crapped out, guys. I'm going to turn it off. And Drew is still missing in action. Where's Drew? Drew, where are you? I can't believe the Bills lost. Okay, there's only 2 teams that are 5-1 at the moment. The power rankings have come out for some people. Most power rankings come out on Tuesday. And the Bills, according to Bleacher Report, as of this morning, were the number 1 team in the nation. The Eagles have had 2 rough losses, and I still would not put the Buffalo Bills at number 1 in the nation. Bleacher Report can kiss my ass. They just lost to Atlanta. They just got embarrassed by Atlanta. But that's the way it goes, guys. The San Francisco 49ers find themselves 4-2. If you're a fan of the NFC West, unbelievable. 49ers, Seahawks, Rams in a dead tie at 4-2. But the 49ers, because they beat the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals, are at the top of the division. Ryan, you did not have to do that. Oh, my God. Ryan, you got to let me. I got to meet up with you and buy you a meal or something. Ryan, you are the man. That is going straight to Drew. Drew, you better show up, Drew. Where is Drew? He's going to get this regardless, Ryan. You're amazing, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan for that unbelievable super chat. Drew, show up. It's time to work. Ryan is the man. I appreciate that. Buffalo Bills, definitely not my number 2. Tampa Bay Buccaneers may very well be deserving of the first place power ranking as they are 5-1, and only the Colts are also 5-1. I would put them at number 2. I'm really impressed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. And unfortunately for the 49ers, was lousy offensive line. How many times was poor Mac Jones sacked yesterday? Unbelievable. Took so much punishment with bad legs, too. He had to apparently shoot himself up with a ton of cortisone to play. They deserve that number 1 ranking. There's no way the Packers, according to Bleacher Report, are number 4 seed. The Rams at number 5, slightly ahead. They won. Seahawks won. Cardinals lost. Seahawks are above the 49ers, according to this ranking. The Lions embarrassed as well this week. Couldn't believe that. Steelers ahead of the Niners? Come on. Chiefs. I got to tell you guys, speaking of the Chiefs, I saw this today. The University of Texas at El Paso has done a scientific study that shows the NFL officiating favors the Chiefs. What a surprise, right? Is anybody surprised? They've done a scientific study, and they say that the officials are favoring the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, really? You don't say, huh? You don't say. All right, guys, there is 26 seconds left in this game. Is that Jake Moody I see who is about to try to kick a field goal? Jake Moody made a 59-yarder in preseason, I believe, for the San Francisco 49ers. And I went to this supermarket, my local supermarket on Blue Diamond afterwards. And the manager, who's always at the front, is such a cool guy. He's from San Francisco, born and raised in San Francisco. He says, hey, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. So it's always great going to my supermarket. Ryan says, I'll absolutely take you up on that offer. Hopefully we'll get some good fights in town soon. That's right. That's right. Also, I appreciate you guys grinding and putting together good boxing and sports content. And we appreciate you so much, Ryan. And yeah, man, anytime, let me know. Let me see what's up with these messages because I'm vertical today. And Drew's not here, and it looks kind of funny. So are we going to get that kick? Here's Jake Moody, guys. 3 seconds left on the clock. This will determine whether or not 702 Man Cave. He picked Commander, so it's not that. It looks like Fonzie might be the winner if the field goal is made. And where's Fonzie? Fonzie's probably working right now. Can we trust Jake Moody? He's been very reliable today. Of course, when it mattered to the San Francisco 49ers, he seemed to fail. This is a 38-yard attempt, if I'm seeing this correctly, guys. And he's missed plenty of shorter field goals. Monday Night Football. Here we go. Former San Francisco kicker. He makes it. The Bears win. Oh, shout out to Fonzie this week. The winner of our picks of week 6. Unbelievable. You get rid of the guy, you fire him, and suddenly he's, a legitimate talent. But I'm happy with the Nicaraguan guy the 49ers got. Happy for the Bears. The Bears come away with the win over the Commanders. We're very interesting. But is it Junior Samuel? Debo Samuel is on the Commanders, and Jake Moody comes away with the winning field goal. So that is very interesting. Still waiting for Drew, guys. Let's do some quick boxing talk. Drew's laptop may not cooperate, and I appreciate everyone is here. Yes, absolutely, man. I hope Drew will enjoy his birthday a little bit more. I would have loved to have sent him to that. And what I hope that we can do is that we can eventually get these credentials so Drew can cover the sport on the East Coast if he's up to it, right? That's exactly what I want. Well, here's the major news, guys, that I want to get out of the way. This amazing fight that, amazing. It was a fight in Las Vegas scheduled for just the week before Halloween, and I was on the phone with Fonzie. A lot of people coming to Las Vegas for Halloween. Obviously, it's a huge, huge weekend in Las Vegas. One of the best for YouTube content creators. Being here in Las Vegas for Halloween weekend is the perfect occasion to do content, right? So Fonzie's like, I want to go see the Fundora Thurman fight, but all my friends are coming for Halloween. I'm like, don't sweat it, Fonzie. Whatever, don't sweat it. The fight's probably going to suck, right? I mean, we can presume the outcome that Thurman is 37 years old. He's fighting a man who's 6'6". It's going to go all bad, right? And then we find out this week that not Thurman, but Sebastian Fundora says he has a hand injury. And the co-main event, something happened in the co-main event too, and now this whole card is off. And like I mentioned earlier, Jesus Ramos Jr., a fantastic kid from Arizona, he was on that card too. And now these PBC fighters are most likely all going to be rescheduled for a December card in San Antonio, Texas. And it looks like that card is going to be stacked because most of these fighters that were on this card, October 25th in Las Vegas, now will be fighting in December. And the other huge, huge news for PBC, a couple of items, man. Rolly Romero Shout out to the 702 Man Cave who knows Raleigh pretty good. Well, Raleigh's in talks to fight Manny Pacquiao. Raleigh is the WBA champion. Drew's here, guys. Drew, call here. What's good, Drew? There you go. I just want to let you know, shout out to Ryan. Big shout out to Ryan. Ryan hit you with a $50 super chat for your birthday, man. And I'm gonna make sure you get that right away, Drew, because we don't have to sit around and wait for the YouTube payday. That you get that, man, for your birthday. Drew, big news, big boxing news. I want to know your thoughts on the Thurman fight being postponed. Thurman had a lot of harsh words. He doesn't seem to be buying it that Fundora's hurt. And we know that a lot of people in the boxing business don't seem to trust Sampson, his manager. Thurman's kind of alluding that is bullshit, man, that he's had a lot of injuries in his professional career, hand injuries, shoulder injuries. You know, he had a bicep torn, and he said, you know, I'm ready to fight in 2 weeks, and it's bullshit that you can't just go find a doctor to shoot you up with something and keep the fight going, man. So what do you think happened in this Thurman-Fundora fight? You think it's all cap by Fundora's team?
I think the sales aren't good for the fight. I think that first of all, they're following the PBC method, pay-per-view, and you're trying to have an $80 pay-per-view. Nobody's buying the pay-per-view, so at the end of the day, you're not going to make money off this fight. You're really not, because nobody really, really consider this fight big. They don't. This isn't it's just not as big as people think, as they think it was going to be. And now that they're going to use, this is another event that they're going to lose money for. So they decided to probably, hey, we're going to call this event off. We're going to call this fight off. And we're going to call it a day.
Well, I wonder how many of you guys in the chat might think the same thing, that ticket sales may have had been an instrumental reason behind the scenes to just come up with a mysterious illness and postpone the fight. I heard on the ground too, Drew, that sales weren't good enough. And I've been to fights at the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas where there was as little as 4,000 people. I went to a Thurman fight that had Amir Khan at the top of the card, like over 10. Remember, guys, Keith Thurman's 37. I think that I went to that fight maybe 10 to 15 years ago. And it was about 4,000 people. And you have 4,000 people in a venue that seats 13,000. It's a slow night for the sport of boxing. And boxing is having a major slowdown in the U.S. Top Rank finds himself without a television deal. To this day, we don't know where Top Rank. Thank God some of their fighters fought this weekend. Shout out to Guido Vianello, who fought in Philadelphia, Drew. I thought that was one of the better heavyweight fights performances I've seen this weekend, and there was 2 really good heavyweight fights. But yeah, I mean, I'm wondering what you guys think, if maybe perhaps ticket sales were a reason why they just postponed the show rather than having a failed event, 4,000 people. And then you mentioned, Drew, $79.99 to watch the fight as a boxing fan, having to pay for it on pay-per-view. That sucks. Drew, I know a lot of people in the boxing that are boxing fans are very much against using devices to stream pay-per-view events. And I mentioned it on Thursday that I was gifted a box by my friend from way back, a really good friend. He gifted me this box. I'm like, I already had a DAZN membership when he gifted it. I had DAZN. I was paying for all this stuff. And he's like, dude, just cut the cord, man. Are you using the box? You can watch all this stuff. I know a lot of you guys feel like this is robbing the fighters of fighters' pay and whatnot. He gives me this box, right, Drew? I'm watching football on that thing every weekend so we could do our football show. I'm watching every game, the NFL. Well, the device died on Thursday. I go out and I buy the same box, the new version of that box, and guess what? I'm out $180. That shit don't work. So it looks like my internet service provider in Las Vegas, and I'm trying to figure this out, they may have put a block on some of these streaming devices, so you're forced to pay for cable television, NFL package, and all the streaming apps. I can't confirm it, guys. I know some of you here live in Vegas or watching me, but I think that's freaking bullshit. What you can and cannot do with your, if you're paying your internet service provider, that they feel that they can clamp down on what you can and you can't use I don't know, guys. It's very controversial, Drew. Nonetheless, here's what I'm trying to say. I went out and bought, I can't say, I might jeopardize our channel. I went and bought an NFL package to watch the 49ers play, knowing the 49ers were going to lose, right, on Sunday. Wanted to kick back. I partied on Saturday night. I'm like, do I go to the sports bar or do I stay at home and pay for this package, NFL package? I buy this NFL package, Drew, and after paying for the NFL package, I get a sign when I try to pull up the Niners game that the Niners game is blacked out in Las Vegas. So not only did I lose my ass buying another effed up streaming device box, but I actually paid to watch the NFL, and they tell me that my game is blocked in Las Vegas. It's not the Raiders game. Why are the Niners blocked in Las Vegas? How much do you need to spend to watch every NFL game on Sunday? I'm going to blow my effing brains out, dude.
Well, let's look at it like this. First of all, we got our first coaching fire of the season in Brian Callahan of the Titans. He was fired today. Tell you the truth, did we see? Here's the thing: these organizations with bad, like that, have bad teams, probably have bad front offices and everything. Like, get your quarterback. Oh, we got our quarterback and everything. We drafted our quarterback. We drafted him by. He was basically fired because, they're 1-5, but when you have one of your leaders of your team, Justin Simmons, and everything, veteran, all-pro player and everything, when he tells you that it wasn't a good practice at all, it really tells you that the team isn't really buying into this coach anymore. So they lost again, and he was fired today. They wanted to get going, but here's the issue with this. I don't know if you followed the Titans that much, Dave. Is the Titans a tractable job if you're a head coach? If you're trying to be a head coach of a National Football League team, is the way the Titans are structured right now, is it a tractable job for you that you want to take if you were offered it?
Our defensive coach Saleh, who came back from the Jets, remember he got released from the Jets? He took that head coaching job opportunity to see if he could handle it, and he failed miserably. And the Jets are 0-6 this year. I don't know. I guess if you aspire to become a head coach and see if you're cut out for it, if you've been a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, then maybe, then maybe so.
It's like this team, it needs so many pieces. It really does need so many pieces. You do have Kelvin Ridley, the wide receiver. And you do have Simmons, but Simmons you're likely going to wind up trading Simmons. And if someone calls to you about Kelvin Ridley, you're probably, if that's the right deal, you're probably going to do him too. And then you get yourself to having all these pieces you got to get again. Like, I see the Titans as more of a 5-year project and more of a 5-year build. I don't see them being good for at least 5 years, maybe 6. If lucky, depending on how the draft goes with this team, what moves they can make, if they can at least track some free agents to come here, and to see the development of Cam Ward, which I doubt in the position that he's in, he's going to be any good because it's not a really bad team. And like, to me, if I'm running this team, if I'm if I'm trying to go and try to become a head coach, I'm trying to go to this team, I'm going to the GM and say, yo, this is what we got to do. I want offensive lineman drafted, or I want defensive lineman drafted. I want to build from the trenches, the offensive line, the defensive line first. I want to build them up because I need to protect my quarterback and everything. And then you work on your defensive line and everything. But not every team goes with that. Every team wants to draft their quarterback and everything. But quarterback ain't gonna be right if you don't have nobody protecting them. And you don't got the right people around him, he can't develop. And you're in the same situation 2 years later, drafting another quarterback with a high pick. So out of all the situations, Dave, who do you think is the next coach to be fired?
I don't have a clue. What do you guys in the chat think? Do you have another coach in mind, Drew? I know you like these assumptions. Who's going to get fired
let me
next?
ask you something. Have you seen Tua Tagovailoa's interview after the Dolphins lost?
Yeah, I hear that his team is in disarray. The locker room, poor Tua, man, especially after losing Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I heard that things are pretty rough in the Dolphins locker room.
That makes you think they're late? That means the coach ain't doing nothing. They ain't disregarding what the coach says. Normally, coach lost that locker room, he's out. He needs to be out. I'm thinking if they lose again, Mike McDaniel is getting fired. I don't know if you follow college football, Dave, but Penn State, James Franklin was fired after losing to Northwestern at home. And they're 3-3 now. Lost 3 straight games. To me, I look at it like this. James Franklin should have been fired 5 years ago. And the messed up is you just gave him a new contract like a year or two ago. Now you have to give him $50 million for firing him.
Well, Drew, we got one in the chat. Shout out to LA Shadow. It's been a minute. He said Kevin Stefanski for the Browns. He believes that might be the next coach to be let go. Things are rough, right? I mean, we're like one quarterback away from Shedeur Sanders being called up, right?
Well, here's the issue. I think that their defense is pretty good. I am going to say that defense is pretty good. It's a shame because now with all the offensive struggles and everything, they're probably all going to have to trade some of those defensive pieces like Denzel Ward, your best corner. They're going to have to wind up trading him. And I think they're one of the best pass defenses in the league. But I think they drafted horribly the last few years. They should have got more on the offensive side. They should have tried to lower some offensive talent there. And Deshaun Watson issues and everything, he just hasn't worked out. And they're just waiting to get out of that contract. And yeah, they are one quarterback away from the Shedeur Sanders playing. It's not like Dylan Gabriel is playing terribly.
He had a pretty good start the first one, but the second one, not so much.
So to me, right now, within this week and week 7, week 10, I could see like a 35-40% chance that Cleveland fires their coach.
Hey, what about Shedeur Sanders being in?
Sanders, here's the thing. Shedeur's going to start. He's eventually going to get in there. Like, they are really, I don't know, that organization, they're putting the blame on whoever drafted them. Said, nah, it's the ownership that really wanted them. And then, like, the one dude, I want to draft them. You should have never drafted 3 quarterbacks. You should have never drafted 3 quarterbacks.
One of them has got to work out. How many of you guys in the chat are still interested in seeing Shedeur Sanders start this year and seeing what he can do?
And the thing is, he might wind up doing good for them, and it might cost them to think about what can we do with Deshaun Watson and everything. He is due to come back soon. Who do I think could be next to get? I will keep an eye out for Aaron Glenn from the Jets. 0-6. I said that they should have never hired another defensive-minded coach. For all that, you might as well should have just kept Rob Saleh because he was 2-3. Defense was top 5 before you got rid of him. And then that all went to shits. 82 yards of total offense against the Broncos this past game. So like it's not getting any better. And then when your best wide receiver is criticizing you, saying why didn't you want to play? You just look and say, yeah, 30 seconds for the timeout. Why didn't you want to play? Instead of running the halftime. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Glenn gets fired before the season over. He's 0-6 now. Doesn't look like the team's getting any better. It doesn't really look like the Jets are the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. Like I think that they're looking at, hey, we should have hired an offensive-minded coach. There were some times that it looks like the Jets were actually being competitive, but it just hasn't resulted in wins for them. So I can see Aaron Glenn getting fired. I think they're going to get Kellen Moore from the Saints more time and everything because Spencer Rattler is actually doing pretty good now. I think if the Falcons I think they won tonight 24-14 against the Bills. Bills lost 2 straight games after starting undefeated like the Eagles. If they don't make the playoffs, the Falcons, Raheem Morris might be gone.
Hey, the Falcons, I'm nervous today. The 49ers have a tough job against the Falcons. Was it Robinson, the running back? Tremendous game. Yeah. Shout out to King Early, says, gives his team, the Chiefs, a big shout out. Drew, were you surprised by the Kansas City Chiefs smoking Detroit Lions this weekend?
No, because here's the thing. I think eventually something was going to click with the Chiefs. And I believe that Detroit, I think if you can play good defense against them, Detroit's not going to be able to beat you. And it was another road game with another good defense, and that's why they lost.
Yeah, well, they're playing the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming week. So, I mean, it's all but a sure win for me for Kansas City Chiefs beating the Las Vegas Raiders, improving to 4-3 this week. But if you guys haven't hit that like button, feel free to do so and hit that subscription if you guys don't mind. We're trying to get to 2,500 subscribers by the end of October. That's why we're going back to vertical for the moment. I did want to shift into some boxing news, Drew. We're well under halfway of the show. This was a great weekend for your Philadelphia fighter, but I thought that we'd talk about a couple of big news items. First off, I asked you about the Fundora fight. That's off. Also, Beterbiev was going to come back in November. Did you hear his fight is off as well in November?
Yeah, a lot of fights are getting turned off.
Exactly. A lot of fights are getting called off. This weekend, upcoming weekend, is really interesting, Drew, because, we have the return of Danny Garcia, who's 37 years old, and we have Paulie Malignaggi fighting in bare-knuckle fighting championships. God help Paulie. I hope Paulie does not break his hand this weekend. But these are some interesting news regarding the PBC. When I had put this picture up, guys, Rolando Romero of North Las Vegas has been ordered to defend his title against, how do I pronounce his name? Garcia? Anyways, he's a silver medalist, Olympic silver medalist. I've seen him fight. He's undefeated. The WBA is ordering to fight him, and it's going to go to purse bid. This is going to pretty much foul up the plans that Raleigh and Manny Pacquiao, who was just robbed, in my opinion, this summer of becoming a welterweight champion at the age of 47, they're in negotiation already. They're in talks for Raleigh Romero to fight and give Manny Pacquiao an opportunity to win his title in January. I had to do some deep diving, Drew. This is a mandatory, but it looks like Garcia may be in a position to take a step-aside offer, which I really feel 100% This dude is going to accept whatever money they give him to step aside. Raleigh's kind of been in these positions before where he's had to offer people to step. Remember, Drew, he never fought that old man Barroso from Venezuela again in a rematch. He was ordered to rematch the guy. He never did. And I think this is exactly what's going to happen, guys. There's nothing that is going to stop Rolly Romero versus 48-year-old, I think he'll be 48, Manny Pacquiao this January in Las Vegas. Hopefully. Raleigh going to fight Manny. I think Raleigh wants that fight. Obviously, it's a huge name on his resume. He's 48 years old, and Manny Pacquiao is still quite good. He was almost, in my opinion, good enough to beat the younger Mario Barrios, Drew. What do you think is going to happen with that? You think they'll take the step aside money?
It'll be smart for them to take the step aside money. It would be, but would it be the right move? Probably for right now to see who wins that fight. But if you also look at it, if his team can actually negotiate a fight with Barrios and everything, he'll be able to make it worth more if he wins that belt from Barrios.
Jose says, I'll take some step aside money. I remember the days when I'd say, I'll take any money to go in. I'll take $1 million to get knocked out in one round by anybody. I'll take it. Man Cave says Arizona Lara is in Vegas. There's some interesting middleweight news too, Drew. What is the big middleweight news is that there's a potential unification matchup between Janibek and who, Drew? It looks like that's all but Lara. Yeah, Janibek versus Lara. Unification likely for PBC. So I have no idea when that fight is going to be. Is that going to be potentially in December? That one's been signed off?
I don't know. We'll see when the date is finalized, but I don't know. I always say it always depends on what Janibek shows up and everything.
Stephen Fulton, Philadelphia fighter, was supposed to be on the October 25 card. And it looks like, shout out to Stephen Fulton, he will be, even though I saw him tweet something crazy, I saw him tweet today, he said, 147 it is, that's crazy talk. 147, Stephen Fulton saying that. But it looks like his fight's going to be rescheduled for December. That fight card that's going to feature Pitbull Cruz. It looks like that December fight is going to be fire. And on top of that, it should have Fundora versus Thurman for December, guys. This weekend, Drew, there was some really good, fun heavyweight action between guys that aren't at the very top of the division. But Guido Vianello, who has fought Richard Torres, California's Richard Torres, lost to him. He put a beat down. I like this very much. On that Philadelphia card for Boots Ennis, he had a very great performance. Because of that, he's calling out Anthony Joshua. He says he wants to fight Anthony Joshua in Rome, Italy, in the Coliseum. I, for one, think, why not? Why not? Who else is Anthony Joshua going to fight?
Is it me or anybody's trying to call out Anthony Joshua now, knowing how washed up he is?
He wants Anthony Joshua.
I want him on my resume. Easy resume win for me. That's what they thinking, man. It'd be fucked up if they wind up getting their ass kicked. But yeah, I look at it, man, as a good win and everything. I think the thing that's the talk of the night is Boots' first round knockout.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get to that one right now, Drew. But let me just give credit to Makhmudov. That was a hell of a fun fight, guys, on DAZN Boxing. Makhmudov beats Dave Allen. If you guys don't know who Dave Allen is, well, take a look at him. He's a heavyweight that carries a little bit of a pouch, a little bit of love handles. He's the working man's, poor man's, blue collar UK. This guy never says quit. Dave Allen, the scorecards do not give credit to Dave Allen. This guy has 8 losses, but every one of those is a performance where he gives it his all, man. He was rocking Makhmudov, rocking him, and still lost on every card. So much so, Drew, that apparently, coming back to California's Richard Torres Jr., this is kind of shameful. Top Rank made a phone call immediately wanting to set up a fight with Dave Allen, who has 8 losses. They think that's the right fight for Richard Torres. To be honest, I think he would give Richard Torres a hell of a fight.
I wouldn't be surprised he beats Richard Torres.
Anybody else think that Dave Allen, UK, could beat Richard Torres?
let's look at it like this. I think Torres is a guy that should not be fighting at heavyweight, first and foremost. Should be fighting at cruiserweight. He needs he needs more rounds. But if you look at it like this, man, I think Makhramov and Torres should be the fight to make.
Yeah, welcome to Niner86. He says, why does it seem like boxing is dying? No fights for a long time. Typically at this time of year, we expect to have like mega fights every other weekend. But now in October, the best fight of the year ended in just one. I mean, the best fight of the month ended in less than one round. We're going to get to Drew's analysis of the Boots Ennis fight. And now we don't have October 25th. Now we have to sit around and wait for a couple of dates in November and maybe one in December. And that's the whole year. And again, Top Rank Boxing, based out of Las Vegas, has no television deal, Drew. And that's why Guido Vianello was fighting on Boots Ennis's card just to stay busy. Emiliano Vargas, one of the top rising prospects, son of Fernando Vargas, who was on the Hall of Fame ballot this year, he's going to be fighting in Mexico on another promoter's card, wherever they can get action and keep their fighters busy. It's pretty crazy.
You gotta make money. You gotta make money somehow.
And you gotta stay active.
You gotta stay active. You gotta make money. And like the only way you're gonna make money if you stay active. And like it's how it is. And but if you look at it, boxing, like people are asking, like, why does it seem like boxing's taking so long to have fights going on and everything? Because boxing really is having a bad time trying to make fights up. Like the big fights can't be made all the time. So,
well, you're absolutely right about that, guys. Well, this was the weekend of Boots Ennis' 154-pound debut, unified welterweight champion that had a very difficult time when he was with PBC, getting major fighters in the ring with him. Because of that, he's been accused of having a very thin resume, over 35 straight wins. But there is this controversy going around social media, Drew. And I point to an article by Steve Kim that I read on Snack Nutrition called Both Things Can Be True. On one hand, you have a lot of people singing praise to Boots Ennis. I myself included got, I think, one like for saying that I'm now convinced, I tweeted, I'm now convinced that Boots Ennis is more than ready for every champion in the 154-pound division. That got one like, all right? There's people praising him, but the vast majority of people on social media are saying his resume sucks. He's never fought anybody, even though he beat Stanionis, an Olympian, and took his belt very easily. I mean, he's got some credible names and tough fights, but it doesn't look like Terrence Crawford's resume. It doesn't look like other great welterweight champions. So can both things be true? Is he really levels above all the welterweight champions that were in the division, Brian Norman? Or is he levels above Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz, Jesus Ramos Jr.? Is he levels above those guys even though he hasn't fought those guys? Can that be true?
It can be, but people are not going to think of it as like that. Like, after this fight, the first name he mentioned was Virgil Ortiz. That I want the Virgil Ortiz fight.
And there's no title there. He did win a WBA interim title. The real title is being held by a guy who, in my opinion, if you thought, and I gave a lot of credit to Lima, who he was going to fight, that Lima would be a durable test. I got it completely wrong. Shout out to Drew. He said there'd be a stoppage. I said that I thought Lima would go the distance based on some of his prior fights. Boy, I was wrong. I'll attest to that, man. I was completely wrong. I think he does the same type of performance over a boss who holds the full WBA title now, surrendered by Terrence Crawford. A boss picked up this title. I think Boots Ennis smokes this guy too. And this is the fight that needs to be made next, immediately. Let him get the full WBA title, and then let the unifications begin. Virgil Ortiz don't got a belt. You like that fight? You like that fight?
I like the fight, but here's the thing. I think the way that this fight don't happen is Oscar De La Hoya is gonna be at fault for this. No, I'm telling you, I think Oscar's gonna push this fight too much. Like they said, oh, we want the fight in Texas. No, we want the fight in Philly. No, how about we have the fight in Eddie Hart? Like, how about we have this fight in Vegas?
Dude, no disrespect to Oscar, Drew. Sorry to interrupt you, but I gotta agree with you. I think two of the highest ceiling fighters that I thought were in Oscar's in his stable of fighters were going to be Virgil Ortiz and Ryan Garcia. And neither of them has he gotten them titles. Neither of them are yet to be world champions, which is a shock to me because I think Virgil Ortiz absolutely should have been a welterweight champion. They are not world champions yet. And Xander Zayas, and meanwhile, Xander Zayas for Top Rank has already achieved that.
Well, let's look at it with Ryan. Ryan had multiple opportunities and lost and everything. Let's put that out there. Ryan Garcia lost. And when he lost miserably. Virgil Ortiz, yeah, it's another thing. He hasn't gotten Virgil a title yet. Virgil should have been a champion already and everything, but he's not. So let's look at it like this. Oscar is going. Oscar can be the reason why this fight doesn't happen. It's the reason why he didn't get the Xander Zayas fights for him because you guys underestimated Xander, and he got a vacated title. And now he's got the leverage, and then you're trying to talk him out.
I feel like I think where you're going with it is they're going to presume they have the leverage to fight Boots Ennis, and they don't. Boots Ennis proved that. Boots Ennis proved that with the Brian Norman negotiation. They offered him a lot of money. They were still the top dog. And I think you're probably right about that if Virgil Ortiz and Oscar do want that opportunity with Boots, they're going to have to accept the fact that they're the B-side. And that means venue. Most likely you're going to have to accept Eddie Hearn being the lead promoter and saying, this fight's in Philly. Fight's in Philly. No matter what, he's the champ. It's
going to be in Vegas. They said the fight's going to probably be in Vegas.
Oh, a neutral location?
They're going to have a neutral location and everything. It's going to be in Vegas.
Let me tell you, guys, Vegas is not a neutral location for anybody. It's a great location. It's the fight capital of the world. It's wonderful because I'm here on the ground and I'd love to go to see it. But it's not a neutral location, and there's always seems to be a favorite amongst judges when the fight lands in Vegas. Anything can happen. I mean, world champions have been, we just talked about him earlier. Manny Pacquiao this year was done wrongly by the judges.
Here's the thing. Another spot could have been Miami, have it the Hard Rock Stadium.
Miami. Miami's not a fight town. Miami's just not a fight town.
But you want to know something? You want to have it. You don't want to have it in like L.A. You don't want to have it in Texas. And if you're Virgil them, you don't want to have the fight in Philly or AC. So Miami?
I don't know. I don't know. I love the division, guys. If you still love boxing, 154 pounds is going to be the hottest division in 2026. A lot of changes in that division all the time. We have a new champion. Like I said, this guy, a boss that no one has seen in the U.S., picked up one of Terrence Crawford's vacant titles. I hope to see Boots Ennis get an opportunity to take the full title away from him. And then we can potentially see Unifications, Drew. Bakhram Murtazaliev, who destroyed Tim Tszew's career, he called him out this weekend. This is a fight everybody seems to be avoiding him. I do want to see Boots fight him, but I think Boots deserves to get the full title and maybe get a title defense. And then if he unless he wants to jump right into it, man. If Boots Ennis and his team think they're ready for Bakhram, then do it. I think he mentioned them too, Drew. That this is a great opportunity to unify titles.
He said, whoever's a champion, I'll fight him. He said, Bakhram, right. Xander. That's the last guy. He said, what's his name?
Xander, too. Xander, absolutely.
He said, and I think these other people gotta really look at it that, hey, he ain't trying to duck these guys. He wants to fight Virgil Ortiz, and people like, now it's the ball's in Virgil's court. If he's willing to fight Boots Ennis or not now.
Yeah,
so we'll see how it is.
Shout out to Xander. Shout out to Xander. I hope he finds an opportunity to fight soon and defend his title or unification. But as of now, Top Rank has yet to secure a television rights deal in the U.S. And that's why somebody pointed out, Niner 6 pointed out earlier, what's going on with U.S. boxing. Well, the television deals aren't here. They have announced a little bit of what Paramount TV is going to do, which is another subscription. So if I want to watch the new venture by Dana White, I got to subscribe to Paramount, and they're going to put on X amount of shows a month, and then they're going to have big shows occasionally that are going to be pay-per-view. And, I mean, aside from Vito Melnecki, they don't really have a major signee that I could imagine would be worth me, plucking down $79.99 to watch a Dana White boxing special, especially since they just gave us Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford for free on Netflix, right? Like, it's going to be a hard time.
I don't think that's going to be successful, Czar, for boxing. Like, a lot of these guys ain't going to fight for him.
Yep. Hey, I appreciate the likes, guys. Don't forget to hit the likes. I appreciate everybody that's in here right now. We're trying to get to 2,500 subscribers by the end of October. And let's talk about this upcoming weekend. Drew, speaking of Philadelphia, this weekend features two fighters that were great welterweight champions in their heyday. Shout out to Danny Garcia. Almost became a 3-time division champion, but lost to Lara, Erislandy Lara. 702 Man Cave mentioned Lara is in Las Vegas training. He is putting on a show in Brooklyn. Drew, is called Farewell to Brooklyn. He'll be fighting a New York fighter. This card is stacked. In fact, I think they might have some top-ranked fighters on this card, too, to stay busy. Andre Berto will be one of the announcers. Teofimo Lopez behind the microphone. Oh, man. I got to watch this. This Saturday. Somehow figure it out. Farewell to Brooklyn, Drew. You like the idea of Danny Garcia retiring with a win?
Yeah, it'd be great for him to retire with a win,
And speaking of fighters from yesterday, Paulie Malignaggi finds himself much, much older than Danny Garcia, but yet they both fought kind of at the same time. Paulie makes the end of his career. Well, he extends the end of his career one more time. He's fighting Tyler Goodjohn in a bare knuckle fight, October 18th. Why, Paulie? How do you feel about this one, Drew? Paulie's got a lot of scar tissue, Like, this is just, I don't know, he just wants to continue to fight.
Paul, this isn't like, let's look at it like this. Paulie has no power. I'm sorry, guys. Paulie has no power because he's not a threat. Even when he had no gloves on, he's not a threat because he has no power. But it's really like Paulie's out to make money now. And doing this bare knuckle shit and everything, I don't know how long his hands are going to hold up. I don't know how long his face is going to hold up. But his movement isn't as good as it used to be. So he's going to take a lot of shots. He's going to be a punching bag eventually for somebody. You're not going to have the same success as Austin Trout. So, it depends on how much longer he's going to do this. Depends how much more money he needs and everything. So it's a shame.
Yeah, well, it's this weekend. That's all I got as far as, combat sports is that I'm interested in this weekend, guys. I wanted to say thank you so much to our boy in the chat who gifted Drew a birthday super chat. That's really amazing. I'm going to make sure that Drew gets that for his weekend just in time. There will be
sent me $10.
There will be no Tailgate Talk Week this show because I got family coming into Las Vegas this week. They arrive tomorrow and they'll be here till Saturday. And I'm going to play the role of tourist with them. And again, guys, I'll be putting out a vlog this week. So if you want to hit the subscribe button and check out my latest Vegas vlog on a brand new downtown restaurant nightclub. Make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that bell notification. Drew's going to get that super chat. Again, the winner of this week's football picks. Well, shoot, it looks like Fonzie 619, who's not here today, is the big winner. He beat us by 1 game. Beat me, Paul. Beat Pat Connors. And he beat 702 Man Cave by 1 game this weekend, guys. I appreciate everybody. Yeah, Drew, what's up?
I'm sorry, but the Dallas Cowboys got possibly got the worst defense in the league.
Well, Drew, I got a question for you. I know it's your birthday this week, but do you think you might be able to do a football talk show? Does Drew have one in him this week?
I might be able to, but it's going to be that regular shit because I don't got the backgrounds and everything.
That's all good. If you guys, hey, leave it in the comments if you want to see Drew do a football pick show by himself this week. Because again, I got family in town. I won't be able to host that show. But again, I appreciate everybody so much. Thank you to all the new people in here. I wanted to answer Stephanie Johnson if she's still in here. Yes, Stephanie, I know a handful of people in the industry here in Las Vegas, and it's the perfect place to be if you love combat sports. Is the city of Las Vegas, the fight capital of the world. So all I got, guys. I want to say thank you again. Drew, anything else?
Hopefully I can pick a parlay this week, and hopefully the Eagles can actually get it right this week. Because I'm starting to become a very impatient motherfucker. I should have worn my Blue Jays hat. Because the Blue Jays are in the ALCS. And everything. And Phillies are keeping their fucking manager.
That's it.
Jesus Christ.
All right, guys, we will see you on the next one. Hopefully, Drew, make sure you hit that notifications, and Drew will pick up on Tailgate Talk football picks this week. I got another vlog, and I will see you guys next Monday. Until then, peace out.